And hello to all the fantastic, awesome people out there. How are we doing today? All having fun? Oh, stretch it out. Okay. And here we go. Let's get this light up and running. If you enjoy the streams, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. And of course, I love when everybody comments and talks about what's going on or just hangs out with me as I work, as I write. And today we've got some interesting stuff that we're going to be working on. Today we are working on a bunch of random little parts, but mostly the ending of the Declassified Maximum Security Survival Guide. Declassified Maximum Security Survival Guide. So, get our little light set up so we can read it nice and bright. There we go. Happy Independence Day, July 4th. Ooh. So all of this, what I'm writing right now, we may not end up using, but we'll see. We'll see what we can salvage. We can see what's worth using and what's not. Do this up to 200. And we'll title this Declassified Maximum Security Survival Guide. Cut notes. So, everybody out there having a good day? Yeah, enjoying your own work, enjoying your own, making sure that the day doesn't pass you by. Do. Your channel. And we have it. Okay, so this, let me scoot that back. There we go. This is one of the journals that they give you when you're in jail. You can go to, oh my gosh, what is it called? You can go to the commissary or the church person, and they can give you this nice little journal. Rainy day with the dogs. Becca, enjoying a rainy day with the dogs. Rainy days are good. You get to stay inside and you get to just be, right? Yeah, I have tons and tons of notes from my journal entries, times while incarcerated. So let's see what we can get to. Let's see what we can throw in there. With the dogs. What kind of dogs do you have? No, not 16. We're going to go 16 right there. Do cut notes. Do. Line spacing we'll do 1.5 is good. Ooh. Embolden 7/4/21. Happy Independence Day. Happy Independence Day. Do you know why Lady Justice, Australian Shepherd, Golden Noodle, Aussie, and 2 Schnauzers? Why do you have so many dogs? Oh my gosh, I love dogs. Dogs are wonderful. They are great creatures. But let me tell you something. I don't think I could handle that many dogs. I think 2 or 3 are like perfect, the perfect number of dogs. I mean, like, I love my husky to death. He's awesome. His name is Rugen. But yeah, I don't think I could deal with it all the time. That's just so many dogs to like keep fed and water and take for walks. Do you know why Lady Justice carries a sword? Because she punishes. Cutting deep without mercy. She holds a sword that no shield or armor can protect against. The wounds it causes fester with long-lasting consequences that are not quick to heal. She holds up a scale used by the prosecution. It wasn't planned, it just happened. That sounds like you got pregnant. It doesn't just, you don't just accidentally accept a dog into your life. You don't just go, "Oh man, now I can't get rid of it." It sounds like you got pregnant. A scale used by the prosecution to weigh if they can prosecute you. Do you have priors? What's your sex, race, standing in the community? Do you have any political ties? Afford a private attorney? Or likely to post bail? Do they think you'll take a deal? Plead out for safety? Or make them work for it? Will you make the prosecutor look good? She has cloth over her eyes. She is blind to truth. This is a very cynical look at our justice system. That's what this is. Do you know why Lady Justice carries a sword? Because she punishes, cutting deep without mercy. She holds a sword that no shield or armor can protect against. The wounds it causes fester with long-lasting consequences that are not quick to heal. She holds a scale. She holds up a scale used by the prosecution to weigh if they can prosecute you. Do you have priors? What's your sex, race, standing in the community? Do you have any political ties? Can you afford a private attorney? Or are you likely to post bail? Do they think you'll take a deal? Plead out for safety or make them work for it? Will you make the prosecutor look good? She has a cloth over her eyes. She is blind to truth. Blind to truth. Well, there you go. It kind of gives you my headspace on where I was at. Okay. 7/3/21. My testimony hasn't changed, but my words have transformed 1,000 times over. Every detail I've evaluated, every word I've weighed against another. The story is the same, but the words to tell the tale, that kind of tale, have shifted with increasing regularity. I have, after over 100 hours of speech practice, writing, practicing, speech practice, writing, practicing, and writing again, concreted my testimony to be exact, detailed, yet simple. I'll probably jackhammer the concrete again tomorrow. Dun dun dun. And that's how it is. Everybody who's incarcerated, who's awaiting trial, has nothing to do all day long. They have nothing better to do than to sit there and try their best to figure out what they're going to say and how they're going to say it. That's all they do. That's all they have to do. So that's what they do all day long. They figure out, what am I going to say and how am I going to say it? We're kind of going backwards here, but I'm into it. I think this is a statement to the detective. Okay, here we go. Sent to me by, let's see. We're going to do Leprechaun and Mafia. Leprechaun and Mafia have been helping me prepare for trial. Every day, I give them my testimony. And every day, they prosecute me. Leprechaun in particular seems quite adept at asking me questions. To trip me up. Day after day, all evening and night, I practice and they grill me. I hope it's enough to prepare me for the real grilling. Dun 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 dun. Okay, 7/2/21. A military man just arrived. He was found guilty. This scares the hell out of me. Even if you have 80% chance of winning, that's still 20% that you lose, go away into the dark and suffer. Suffer humiliation, loss of freedom, and loss of my daughter's childhood. That's what's at stake. The last being far more precious than the others. He seems like a good, clean-cut, well-spoken, strong young man. I guess I'll just have to push myself to be better on the stand. Be better and pray harder. Dun dun dun. Another one bites the dust. Trial thoughts. Any of this usable? Okay, we're done there. Here we go. Trial end. My trial started on July 6th, 2021. It ended on July 15th, 2021. 1.5 days of jury selection. Half a day for opening statements. 2 days for prosecution. 1 day for defense. Half a day for closing arguments. And finally, 2 half days of jury deliberation. 6th, jury selection. 7th, jury selection / opening statements. 8th, prosecution. 9th and 10th. 9th, 222. 10th and 11th, no trial. 12th, prosecution. 13th, defense. 14th, closing arguments / jury deliberation. 15th, jury deliberation and the verdict. 10 terrible days of working, worrying, and feeling sick of stress to the point of wanting to vomit. To the point of wanting to vomit. Notes. Declassified maximum security survival guide. Notes. Get the light over. There we go. Now I can read. We're good to go, gentlemen and lady. Gentlemen and lady. You know you've been detained too long when the food stops tasting like shit. A lot of things have changed since I was first arrested a year and a half ago. None of them for the better. Candy bars are now $1.50. With prices like that, the correctional facility should have to register. It's looking like 2 hours out a day might be the new norm. The COs refuse to hand out towels except at the beginning and end of our timeout, even though they still hand out other toiletry supplies that are right next to the towels. Does not handing us a towel that's right next to the door somehow make their job easier? No. All it does is wait around for towels when when our time up, instead of going straight to the cell. It still gets me. It wasn't planned. I didn't mean to have the dogs. They came. They're a blessing. But the worst thing they've done is instituted group punishments. If someone has writing on their cell walls, instead of punishing that one person, they shut off the TV, tablet, and phones. They remain shut off for 15, sometimes 20, 25 minutes until the COs finally come back in to inspect if the writing has been cleaned off properly. If it's still unsatisfactory, then they remain off for another period of time dictated by their reinspection. Only having 2 hours and losing this time to talk with our families is a big deal. It's no wonder inmates get loud, threatening and violent towards the one who failed an inspection. And that was a big deal, guys. If you failed an inspection, you were getting your ass beat. Group punishments are dangerous and should be illegal. And they absolutely should. There's no... yeah. So many thoughts. Trial. Every day a trial confirmation arrives is exciting and full of unbridled anticipation. The night before, I do not sleep. Like a child on Christmas Eve. The day trial confirmation arrives, I'm up early, hair combed, teeth brushed, looking as good as humanly possible in jail. Looking as good as humanly possible in jail. I hope my hair impresses the judge. Then confirmation doesn't confirm. A new day for trial, a month or more later, is set, and I return to my cell, struggling to keep my emotions in check. Like a child who found Christmas canceled. I'm angry, sad, and turbulent. In my bunk, all I can do is seethe and hold my breath as my mind refuses to stop spinning. That's the word, stop. To stop spinning. Like a never-ending Groundhog Day. I've learned that this cycle repeats. I no longer get my hopes up. I'm resigned to my fate. June 3rd, 2021. If you don't care what happens, then you won't be disappointed. But in my heart, more than anything, I need to be out by August 14th. Dun 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 dun. Oh, holy cow. Old school. Repeat story needs to be put out into a home. My lawyer is helping the prosecution. They're hiding video footage that I know they have. They're undercover detectives wearing a fake beard. DMG. I just about died laughing. He was getting all his stories and legal advice from John Grisham books. Every book sparked a new conspiracy theory. That actually is kind of fun. Can I use any of this? Extra item, pencil cushion, salt and pepper shakers, clean out the shampoo, liquid soap, personal laundry. Big improvements. Add second clock to the pod. Update Bibles to New International Version or NLT. No more King James. Liquid soap is interesting. Salt and pepper shakers are interesting, but I think I used all of those already. Salt and pepper shakers were kind of fun to make, actually. You take a sharp pencil and you poke holes into the bottle of shampoo and then use them as salt and pepper shakers. So I used to make all kinds of stuff just because I was so bored. That's what you do when you're imprisoned. You're bored, so you just do random stuff. It doesn't even matter what it is. You just do it. Because there's nothing else to do. Cumbugs. This is an interesting story. Cumbugs. Old school story. I have no idea what a cumbug is. Pretty sure it's a gnat. But it was a great source of entertainment. One boring jail day. Old School comes out of his cell with his arms flailing. Flailing. One of the times, he forgot he was supposed to have a bad shoulder. With great gusto, he yelled for the whole pod to hear. Ah! Hell no! There are cumbugs in my cell trying to fly up my dick. I was immediately at my cell door. What did he say? Leprechaun was out at the same time as Old School and couldn't help but inquire, "Did you say cumbugs?" Old School was still shuffling about in rage. Yes, I did. They're all over my cell. Go look." Leprechaun didn't see anything. Didn't see nothing. One dog got pregnant and had to keep her runt. And then my mom fell in love with a no-dog person, begged me to take her. So it just happened. See, it didn't just happen. It did not just happen. Your mom asked you and you accepted. That's what happened. Right? You could have said no. You could have said, "Mom, I don't want the dogs. You have to find a different home for them." But you didn't. So now you have dogs. Congrats. You have way too many dogs. But maybe they're not too many. That's not really for me to decide, is it? I shouldn't say too many dogs. You might love the number of dogs you have. You might enjoy your house constantly smelling like dog. Leprechaun didn't see anything. Old School continued. It's because those damn house mouses ain't doing their job. Leprechaun gave him a blank look. Okay, what's a cumbug? At this point, the entire pod was at their windows. Maybe the nice men in the white coats would finally come and put the old man out to pasture. That's what he needed, guys. He didn't need to be stuck in jail. He was a crazy old man. He needed white-coated people to give him drugs to help him function and live out the rest of his days. He did not need what was happening, let me tell you. Old School looked around. None of y'all know what a cumbug is? He was met with a sea of blank expressions. Well, I'll tell you. And listen up, cause... And listen up. Cause this is important to y'all's health. A cumbug is a little black flying bug that's attracted to your cum. The house mouses aren't cleaning up the shower jellies, and it's attracting them. I found it odd that he blamed the house mouses and not the people beating off in the shower. And then they fly out of the showers into my cell and try to fly up my dick. We all laughed. It ain't funny. It's deathly serious. If they fly up your pee hole, then your dick won't work no more. No more. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna talk to the COs. And you house mouses are done. Not surprising, the COs completely ignored Old School, and the house mouses stayed. After that, the topic was brought up, often to much entertainment. Anytime a flying creature was spotted, it's a cumbug, which brought resounding shouts of, "Hide your dicks!" I never did get a good answer to how the cumbugs could get to our dicks if we were clothed. Was Old School walking around butt-ass naked in his cell? Disturbing. Disturbing. Being homosexual in Max. Just don't do it. Yep, this is a big one. I don't know, can we use it? Yeah, we'll use it. Being gay and Max. Being homosexual and Max. Just don't do it. I know being gay isn't a choice. You can't help it. Blah, blah, blah. That's fine. Just don't act super gay. And definitely don't hit on anyone. Gay boy was fine for the first 2 months he was here. Then he invited his cellie to play strip chess. Next thing you know, he's being taken to the hole for his own protection. It wasn't even his cellie who made trouble, but in here, word gets around. There isn't a lot going on, and people don't have anything better to do than to talk about each other. Gay boy eventually came back, placed with a different group. Well, not in danger. He was the butt of all jokes. Get it? He's gay and he was the butt of all jokes. Why do you think he asked for your banana? Oh. Not wanting to be hit on or associated with him, everyone ignored or was at least somewhat short with him. Always looking for a little fun, I decided to convince Skinny that gay boy wanted to have sex with him. Why do you think he always sits next to you? Haven't you noticed him staring? Yeah. He said you're his type. I'm not joking. Worked like a charm, and boy did the rumor train run. Homosexuality doesn't fly. Doesn't fly in Max. Now let's talk racism. The redhead who walks up to the black guy and offhandedly says, "Just so you know, I'm not racist, but I am Aryan Brotherhood." Yeah. Okay. Real good that the black guys know that idiot. I'm going to fix that sentence later. The other white racist who got caught drawing swastikas in the shower, he came back pretty quick for him. Also, I don't care how gangster you think you are. If you come in here throwing around gang signs, claiming to be Crip, or Blood, or have a teardrop tattoo on your cheek, There are people in here who will question you, fight you, steal your stuff, and make sure your life is hell until you're in the hole or the hospital. Funny enough, to help with racism, housing likes to segregate and keep all the black and Hispanic people in the same groups. Our groups are separate, but equal. Ha ha ha. But hey, if it works, it works. Also, if you do anything to receive the title of snitch, you'll quickly become a leper and likely to fight or removed. If someone does something, keep it to yourself. Even just being suspected of being a snitch can be detrimental. When my red-haired, bearded, 5 foot nothing leprechaun friend came in, I got warned that he was a snitch. Yeah, man. He's been going up to everybody's door, asking them all sorts of questions. Yeah, man. He's definitely looking for information. In reality, he was just being social, trying to find someone who had enough French fries in his head for a Happy Meal. He became a good source of camaraderie, but the idea that he might be a snitch earned him about a month of solitude. By the way, if you're gonna call yourself a Crip, call people cuz, not nigga. Also, you should probably be black. If you claim to be a Hell's Angel, do not buy pride in prison. It does not go well, Becca, let me tell you. It does not. Just know. Just know. Just don't do it. Oh my gosh. Okay. If you're Hell's Angel, don't tell people Oh, that's right. Okay, so this guy, this Hell's Angel guy. Okay, if you don't know Hell's Angels only drive specific bikes. Do not tell them that you drive a Ducati or a Honda, or don't. Hell's Angels would never drive a Jap bike. ever. Ever, ever, ever. That's what they call them, Jap bikes. Okay? They're racist as fuck. Okay? Hell's Angels are racist. They are a part of the Aryan Brotherhood. They work for the whites. Just be smart. Please, for me. It hurts. It really hurts when people just make stupid statements. Yeah. Information, camaraderie. It's so funny. Buy pride in prison. Yeah, no. Don't be gay. It's just, your life is going to get so much harder. This one is about autism. A real life jail story by Author Altman. Autism, void of tone, inflection. He enjoyed using the voice to annoy people. I don't think we need to tell the story of autism. I don't feel good about that one. Kosher rules. Provision 3, 4, and 5 receive a written warning. Second time. Not collect religious food items. You shall not collect religious food items. Blubber. Okay, now here's a story worth telling. Blubber. This guy was something else. 6'2", 300 pounds, wearing an 8X top and 6X bottoms. Crazy unkept hair, beard, and eyes to match. He smelled like old cheese. Needless to say, his celly lasted half a day. We knew he had problems when he spent his first half hour of time out standing with his cell door opened a crack shy of an inch. He stood staring and swaying as if the slightest breeze might blow him over. His next 20 minutes was spent waiting just outside the bathroom door. When told that waiting right outside the door was weird, his response in the tiniest, most high-pitched, small, ill-fitting voice was, "Okay," and he went and sat down to wait. We never learned his name. Didn't need to. I'd quickly dubbed him Blubber. And the name was instantly adopted by the rest of the pod. Funny enough, he wasn't Blubber so much for being fat as he was named for his habit of laying belly down, shirtless, on his bunk, giving him a very beached whale look. after his 45-minute shower without soap, in which he spent the majority of it masturbating. I'll spare you the details. He'd stand outside in the rec yard, not doing anything, just standing, staring off into oblivion, slowly twitching his fingers every so often. After an hour or so of that, he'd go back to laying in his beached whale state. I should note that I never saw the man use a towel. He believed in air drying. My guess is it's better for your pores. Oh, he was a sight, coming out dripping wet. His orange uniform soaking up what it could. Blubber never talked to anyone. Not a soul. Never talked to anyone. Never watched TV. Never even took a book into his cell. He just laid there in his beached whale state, or stood, swaying as he stared off into oblivion. We couldn't believe he didn't take any meds. He is the poster child for needing help, needing an asylum, or at the very least, they need to put him in the mental pod and not with us normal people. He was a really sad story, actually. He would stare and, oh my gosh, he would just stare. He would just be there staring off into nothing. It's like, what are you doing? And he couldn't talk hardly at all. Yeah, it was crazy. He was crazy. He needed meds. He needs meds. I'm sure he still does. You don't just go from nothing to being okay. Poor guy. Oh, that's a lot. Okay. So Blubber's done. Dealing with boredom. Oh, tattoo! The tattoo story. Getting my jail tattoo. Before you can make a tattoo gun, you need to make the needle. Take a staple out of your paperwork, a legal pad, or the address book the chaplain gives you. Find a rough spot in the concrete floor and slide the staple towards yourself in a quick motion until the staple sharpens into a needle. Wrap 2 inches of the needle in thread until you have about an inch of thread spooled around the needle, leaving just an inch of the pointy needle exposed. The thread is there to help keep ink on the needle, but also to make sure the needle doesn't go too far into the skin. This hurt like a bitch. Oh my gosh. Attach the needle to the bottom of the pencil by wrapping it tight with a sticker. Finish it off by wrapping a hair tie around the pencil to give it a comfortable grip. You now have a decent stick and poke tattoo instrument. Best Max can make. The ink starts with pencil lead. To get enough, I suggest finding a pencil you can see the seam of between the two wood halves that keep the graphite center in place. Soak the pencil in water for a day or two. Using the edge of the table, peel and split away the outer layers of pencil until you're left with just the black pencil lead. Using a sharp edge of a table or chair, flake off little bits of the graphite. Take the flakes in a shampoo cap. Add just a single drop or two of shampoo to turn the flakes liquidy. You can test your ink by dropping a drop into the toilet. If it doesn't, let it stay. Oh, hang on. The ink, oh, there we go. Okay. Into the toilet. You can test your ink by dropping a drop of it into the toilet. The ink should sink to the bottom. If it doesn't, let it dry and try again. This time using less shampoo. No, using more shampoo. Now you're ready to stick and poke yourself a jailhouse tat. When doing the actual tattooing, I suggest dipping the needle after every poke. Make sure to keep the skin tight and wipe the tattoo area with a towel often. You kind of want to poke at an angle so the ink gets under the skin. Poke and rip out at an angle, as they say. Poke and rip at an angle, as they say. Yeah, I guess that works. think that's what I wrote there. I wrote this, what, been out since July. I wrote this a long time ago, so it's kind of faded now. I should really go over everything again. Well, I guess I'm typing it all out, so I don't need to, but there was a while where I was going to go over the pencil with a pen to get it to stand out better. Go over it several times to get a decent looking jail tat that won't fade too quick. Yes, it hurts a lot, but don't be a pussy. Remember, an authentic jail tat doubles your street cred and triples your overall coolness factor. That's true, by the way. You'll never look back on it as a shitty looking faded mass that might keep you from getting certain jobs. So just do it. Dun 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 dun. Shitty jail tattoo. Bored. Let's see. Did we already do this, or do we need to do it again? And there we go. Okay, bored. When you're in here for any given length of time, you're going to get bored. Unfortunately, it isn't like on TV where there's a fight every day. Oh, basic fight. You owe me X. Oh, okay. Yeah, I already did this. What I pictured was sweat gear drawn, deputy shooting tear gas bottoms. You know what? This is... I don't know if this is worth doing or not. It might be. It might be. When you're in here for any given length of time, basic fight, what I pictured, what it actually is, hot. Crazy Door Warrior Revenge. Yep, that's a good one. Disappointed, oh well. It's all cheap entertainment, and I can always try to stir up trouble tomorrow. Good golly. Thirsty for action, couldn't wait to see what was going to happen. What I pictured was sweat gear down, dropped. Okay, I already talk about this stuff in the declassified, so I don't think we're going to use it. It's nothing super exciting. It's like trying to start a fight because I was bored. So I basically started a rumor that one other guy was mad at another guy. Food, trading food, house mouse stuff. Okay, I already talked about trading food and house mouse stuff. My mother asks me if I've been reading the Bible. Reading list. Ooh, here we go. All 8 books from the Tales of the Malazan series. I read all those. I read The Mentor. I read The Firm, The Stand, The Lord of the Rings, Night Shift. I read a lot of stuff. Okay, taking a shit. We already talked about taking a shit in there. However, this might be kind of fun for you guys to see. It's the shit sign that we would put up in the window. See that? It's me on the toilet. Yep. That's the shit sign. Okay, I already talked about cheeking meds. There were 2 men in the block who were particularly good at cheeking meds. They cheat their meds every day. They stole the medicine. That was a big thing. Stealing medicine and then turning around and selling it for $1. One of these guys got caught. And he ended up going to the hole for cheeking his medicine. But it's not a big deal. Like, you get all this free money, basically, by cheeking your meds. And then here's medical. All about taking it. Medical. Know his account medical. I have dominoes too. Solitaire. I already talked about solitaire. Staying sane. Declassified max security. Survival guide. From watching them, I learned that most people who don't read much Schizo-homeless was the first cellmate. Okay, this stuff I might actually be able to use, but I need to use the restroom real quick. I will be right back. Please enjoy this amazing slideshow. Hello, wonderful people. I've got something a little different that I want to do right now. Let's do a new document. Dun 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 dun. Okay, new document. The new document is going to be called. Query. So this is a query letter. Nope, not untitled. Sorry, query letter example. This is a query that actually got a lot of attention, and that's why we're going to write it down and take a look at why it had the attention. So, all Marlowe wants is control of herself, of her environment, and most importantly, of the people around her. When attempt to prove the strength of her self-control through sleep deprivation lands Marlowe in the infirmary of the Diana Bainsbury School for Exceptional Young Women, she crosses paths with Gwyn, Sloane, and Ellie.
In an attempt to prove the strength of her self-control through sleep deprivation, lands Marlowe in the infirmary of the Diana Bainsbury School for Exceptional Young Women, she crosses paths with Gwyn, Sloane, and Ellie. So I think that the hook in this query is both her desire for control, which is a really strong and unique motivation, as well as her experiments with sleep deprivation, which isn't really something that I've seen done before. So the status quo is her desire for control,
And we're going to up the line level to 1 point. We'll just double it.
Let's look at another example. This one has a lot more setup information to get the agent up to speed.
Okay.
This query was written by K.A. Black for her novel Ripple, and it got her 6 requests for fulls and 1 partial. 20 years ago, Captain Alexandria Harding nearly died and became host to the constellation.
Okay.
Star touched and giving her his shield, his sword, and untold power. A good example of this second section is in Megan Jacobson's query for her novel Yellow. Kira and the ghost make a pact. She'll prove who murdered him almost 20 years ago if he does.
So that's the first part. Action, reaction, inciting incident. You know what? There are just better ways to do this. I'm gonna throw all this away. There are better ways to do this. Let's go back to working on our notes, shall we? Yes, good notes, good job. Staying sane on books. Staying sane books. Let's talk about the books of staying sane. How to stay sane. Reading is the #1 pastime while you're incarcerated. I don't care what anybody else says. It is the thing to focus on. So, the key to staying sane when you're locked in a small room for 21 hours a day is definitely within the pages of a book. Now, you might be one of those people saying, I'm not much of a reader, I've never been into books, or I'm just not that good at reading. My response to you is, I don't care. Start reading. I've had a lot of sellies. Seen a lot of guys come and go. And the ones who didn't go crazy started reading. Pretty much every one of them walked in not liking books and left glad that they started. From watching them, I learned that most people who don't read much end up liking books a lot more than they think. A lot more than they think they're going to. If you're afraid you won't find anything fun, interesting, or at your understanding level to read, don't worry. You're not that special. At some point over the years, someone similar to you was also locked up. They had similar tastes, and needs in a book, and they left, leaving the book behind for you to enjoy. If you don't know what to do, just start reading. When you first get in, and it's a while until your time out, ask someone on their time out to slide a book under your door. When you're in maximum, and you only have access to a few boxes of books, some books are in high demand. My advice is to make friends with people who like similar books and get on their reading train. Passing down books from person to person as they're finished. The Viking was a friend of mine who I saw was having all the Stephen King books delivered. I was able to get second out of 7 person reading train thanks to just being nice to the guy. Now, if you're a slow reader, hoarding the books, hoarding the book I want, is a sure way to get me mad. 3 books, holding limit. Pass on the 4th to the next guy, knowing it'll make its way back around. Also, series of books are rare. They are to be tracked and protected. If you lose a book in a series, expect to be cut off like a leper. When in doubt, there are plenty of Bibles to crack open. If you don't know where to start, start in Luke. Proverb a day keeps the devil away. First cellmate schizo. It wasn't just the volume of his voice, but the constant drone of nonsense. Nonsensical words. Okay, now we're going to do the daily schedule. Oh, 1500 to 115. House Mouse's clean cell block. $3.15. Sorry. 0315. Razors to shave or commissary delivery. 0515. Breakfast. 0715 to 1015. Group A timeout. 1215. Lunch. / House Mouses. Clean again. 1415 to 1715. Group B timeout. 1715. Dinner. House Mouse is clean again. 1815 to 2115 is Group C timeout. 2115 to 0015 is Group D timeout. And there we have it. That is the daily schedule right there. And as you can see, it leaves very little time for actual sleep. REM sleep was very difficult to get while incarcerated. And here's the deal with that. Okay, you've got a situation where people are out, they're having fun, they're watching TV. It's loud. It's not like everything is quiet in your cell. It is echoey and loud. It's not fun. And so just being able to sleep anytime you want doesn't happen. Does not happen, will not happen. So nurse passes out meds after every meal and does sugar level checks around 15:30. Correctional officers come in every hour at the 15-minute mark to make sure everyone is still alive and cells are locked. You also have people being taken in and out for court or visiting with their lawyers. None of this is quiet. Every group is loud, enjoying their time out. People constantly yell from cell to cell. Guards yell when they bring in order forms or laundry randomly throughout the day. Okay, let's reach out. Get it. There we go. Okay, daily schedule part 2. Tip. Here's the tip right here. Tip. Jam an eraser or pencil in your door to keep it from clinging too loud when the guards pull on the cell door. To see that they're secure. Here's another tip right there. Never call them guards. They hate being called guards. They are deputies or they are correctional officers. Guard is not an acceptable word to use for them. What we used to call them is boss, which stood for big old sack of shit. Unfortunately, they all figured out what boss meant. Somehow they knew boss meant big old sack of shit. So all of a sudden, we were yelled at and told not to call them that. So instead, we started calling them sir, which is shit included retard. House mouses, brushes in the showers is the worst noise ever. Yes. Hate that noise, the brushes in the shower. One thing you'll notice is there's very little time for uninterrupted sleep. I typically fell asleep when house mouses were done at 1:15. Wake up from razor delivery at 3:15. Fall back asleep until breakfast at 5:15. Lay in bed awake until I hear the nurse leave around 6:30. Then fall back asleep and pray to God the morning group is quiet enough that I can sleep until lunch at 12:15. That never happened, by the way. If any group is the morning groups, then I'll try to sleep between lunch and dinner. Usually giving up after 2 hours of sleep. That's the jailhouse schedule for my block, CC. That is the schedule. Oh my goodness, I wrote down an entire day, like exactly what I did on that day. Let's do it. Let's write it down. My day today, 5/28/2020. A day in Max. Midnight to 1 a.m. Read while the house mouses clean the cell block. There's scrub brushes on the shower next to my house are pretty loud. 1 a.m. to 3:15 a.m. Try my best to sleep and finally fall asleep after half an hour of getting the 3-inch mattress bunched up under my half-inch pillow just right. 3:15 to 3:30 a.m. Get woken up for store delivery. It's commissary delivery. 3:30 to 5:15 a.m. Try to sleep again. 5:15 to 6 a.m. It takes so much longer to type when you're using all these weird symbols up at the top that you never actually use. Eat the lumpy, bland breakfast oatmeal. (6 a.m. to 6:15 a.m.) Read while meds are delivered. (6:15 to 7:15 a.m.) Try to sleep. 7:15 to 7:30 a.m. Wake up from the TV being turned on and the bang of cell doors being opened. For the morning group. Timeout. (7:30 to 12:15 p.m.) Finally get 5 hours of uninterrupted sleep. 12:15 to 12:45. Eat bologna sandwich for lunch. 12:45 to 12:50. Brush teeth, comb hair, and stretch. 12:50 to 2 p.m. Read. 2 to 3 p.m. Write about maximum life. 3 to 4 p.m. Play chess with myself. Try new moves, strategies, and always winning. Always winning. 4 to 5:15 p.m. Play Dungeons and Dragons with myself, rolling for what my players might do. 5:15 to 5:45 p.m. Eat bad pasta and old rolls for dinner. Let's flip it over. Okay. 5:45 to 7 p.m. Write down what my Dungeons and Dragons characters did in an outline to possibly make into a fun book. 7 to 8:15 p.m. Pass notes and socialize with other inmates through the cell door and in the vents. 8:15 to 8:30 p.m. People pay me their food dues. 8:30 to 9:15 p.m. Work out. Jump a fake rope. Use the seat for dips, push-ups, planks, and flutter kicks. Note: Always work out 45 minutes before you're let out, so you can open the door to let your house air out and jump in the shower. 9:15 p.m. to 12:15 a.m. Enjoy my time out and fill the 3 hours with shower, phone calls, and video visits with family and playing cards while watching whatever movie is on AMC, TNT, or FX. And then we get to do it all over again. There we go. There you have it, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. A typical life in closed custody. That was it. That right there is the life. And you do it once, twice, 3 times, and then you do it again and again, forever. Me, I did it for 588 days. 588 days of the exact same day, over and over and over again. It's like the worst case of Groundhog Day. It's just that's a good line. In Max, every day is Groundhog Day. Do. Okay, don't need that one. The flat sidewalk on 8-block concrete wall. Board sell extra. Okay, this I might be able to use. Okay. Board sell extra. The flat side wall is 8 blocks of concrete wide, 12 blocks tall. They sit 8 blocks, then 7 full blocks with half blocks on both ends. I like to think of them as staircases someone could walk up. I also draw imaginary lines, turning the blocks into odd shapes, or different sizes. Pyramids inside of each other. Each screw is a security screw. 5 circles outside of a raised point, giving it a star-like appearance. Along that same wall, there are 21 rows of 3 such security screws. I like to find the middle row and work my way out. 10 on either side of the middle. 2 of the 3 screws in a row are on one side of a roof panel, across from the lone screw. They're off center from each other by about 2 inches. The lone one is dead center of the room. You can tell thanks to the wall blocks. It's also in line with the metallic circle in the middle of the cell that houses the sprinklers. Sprinkles. You know, I once dipped my balls in a bunch of sprinkles. It was pretty nuts. Haha. Marine Man was able to use pencils and his comb. Yeah. Marine Man was able to use pencils and his comb to pry it off. It sounded like a gun went off. When the metal disc pops and shoots off. I'm pretty sure if it ever popped off and hit someone in the head, they'd be dead. Yep, I was right. They'd be dead. The cell then gets incredibly dark as flame retardant ink sprays everywhere, followed by water. Yes, everything in the cell is ruined. Funny enough, he didn't get in trouble for this. Thanks to his mental state, he was deemed incompetent. If you want to get away with something, do it during a mental breakdown in the mental wing or close observation. Observation, aka suicide watch. But I digress. The reason the long cell wall is my favorite is because of its symmetry. It's far more calming than the chaos of the other wall. We aren't allowed to hang things in our houses. So this wall is what I enjoy before and after laying my head down every night. It's oddly soothing. Yes, I am soothed. Oh man. A War for the Remote. Oh yeah, I like this one. Diabetic and the Black Stallion. Oh my goodness, let me tell you, this story is a good one. The War for the Remote. Mwahaha. Okay, we've got a few more things to do. Next one is the War of the Remote. I will be right back. Please enjoy the slideshow until I get back. Bum bum ba da dun 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 dun. Okay. Yes, I am soothed. A war for the remote. My group didn't have a problem with the TV. Gramps watched the news for a half hour while we showered and made phone calls. Then we'd sit down at our table to play cards and change the channel to watch a movie on TNT, FX, or AMC while we played cards. Other groups were not nearly as structured. There were often disagreements over watching a movie or that new reality TV show. Most groups either settled on majority rules or first come, first serve. Depending on the personalities in the group. But the group after, I misspoke. But the group after us had two strong personalities: Diabetes and Black Stallion. These two would literally grab the remote from one another and chase each other around the pod. It was very fun to watch and cheer them on. I really liked Black Stallion. We joked around with each other a lot and traded back and forth. To ensure Black Stallion's victory, I should say, to ensure his victory, I started sliding the remote under his cell door at the end of our timeout every day. Diabetes, at a loss as to what to do, did the one thing he should have never done. He went to a CO. My group sat down and was told not to slide the remote under doors anymore. Diabetes and Black Stallion group lost their TV privileges for 2 days, making for a very long, quiet, and boring timeout. But everyone knew that Diabetes snitched. Even though he was a big guy, he got the cold shoulder. No one talked to him. He looked incredibly sad and lonely all the time. He also got a new nickname: Pig. Anytime the nurse should come in for diabetes blood sugar checks, we'd yell, Time to stick the pig. Thus ended the war for the remote. Lonely and alone, pig never got to choose the channels again. What a sad, poor little guy. Never got to choose the remote, the channels, ever again. When you're locked up in the cell, you'd be surprised how easy it is to. You can saw through things with plastic bottles, rubber sandals. Okay, I already talked about this. No need to bring it up again. This. Ooh, okay. So this is the nice little symbol of my name, my last name, Altman. So definitely put that over there. Save that for later. Big 400. Crossway Christian Merry Christmas group. Crossway.org. Let's put that over there. Save that for later. 12 rows of 8 white concrete rectangles. Okay, we've got my cell over there. And the rec yard. Okay, and put those over there. Okay, we are good. We are good to go, guys. Let's take a look at the journal entries real quick. Okay, this stuff is all court stuff preparing for trial. Motives. Okay. Jury observations 7/13/21. Juror number 1. A woman who clearly wants to go home. Bored, she rests on her left elbow, watching the trial without interest. She doesn't care. She doesn't carry a notepad like all the other jurors. No, she does not. My life is on the line, and she can't even be bothered to take notes. Excuse her. Because she's a woman of color, we couldn't excuse her. She had to serve. The men sit and stare. One man is older white man, stares at me more than the others. Is he looking at me, picturing a younger self? A him that could have been in the same position? A him that could have been in the same chair. That sounds better. I'm sitting in? Or is he seeing the low life that did his daughter wrong? Is this finally his time to get revenge for a past deed? Am I to suffer the justice he couldn't bring against another man years earlier? Who can say? I wish I could simply talk to him. To speak like a normal human being to the jury. And maybe be seen as a normal human being, human in return. Instructions to the jury. Instructions to the jury. Bum, ba-da-dun, dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Words continue to move, change, and be rearranged. Same word, synonyms, and words what did I press? What did I press that there are now blue things on the screen? Anyway, I'll keep going and then I'll Google how to fix this in a minute. And words I'd never have considered using are interchanged in attempts to make the same meaning clear or clearer. Funny. Funny enough, their attempts also seem to muddy the water. Okay, how do we change these from capital to lowercase? Is there a way? Do I have to retype them? Okay, I'm going to retype them. Never have considered. Fun day in the writer's life right here. Am I right? Am I right? I'm right. Are interchanged in attempts to make the same Beyond a reasonable doubt. That's the key. Innocent until proven guilty. My life rests alongside our case on those words. They are my life verse, my saving grace, my Jerusalem sanctuary. My domino is crappy 10 points, made out of wood, painted black, dented, and chipped to hell. I'm taking the stand. I'm shitting bricks. I'm shitting bricks because my life is on the line. The domino comforts me. Do. Okay, new. This one is domino. Domino. Book idea. Book idea. The power of words. Talk about the English language. What words to replace and why. What words do to our body. Meditation. Words and how they affect our mind. One word. The domino that falls. You can't take back your words. Internet. Anything you say or have ever said. Typed, texted, written down, emailed, or posted on any social media format can and will be used against you. Now that is a fun book idea. I really like the idea of using that. Done. I think we can call this used up and done and ready to put this away. Let's put that away, shall we? Whew. That feels good. That feels good. We've gotten a lot of work done today, guys. Great job, us. I'm going to take a look at this music. I'm also going to take a look at these words and fix some of these things. I have a short story that I'm really looking forward to working on. And I also need to finish the Declassified Max Series Survival Guide. And so I think alongside those two things, I think we might do the short story later tonight, though. So tonight, 7 o'clock, I will be live streaming again. This is, of course, if this is a recording and you're watching it, then you can just watch the next live stream. Enjoy the slideshow. I love the slideshow. And have a great, fantastic rest of your day. And as always, enjoy what you read, love what you write, and just have fun. That's what the best thing about writing is, that you can have fun creating your world, your reality, and you're sharing it with other people. So please, enjoy.